Howdy, Possum Patty and Miss Stinky Winky Woos hanging out in the studio today. Yeah, we're hanging out because change of plans, yes. Mr. Possum and I had planned on getting up early and going out to the flea market. Remember those bargains I got last week? But we got up early and it was raining. Rain, rain, rain. So, well, no flea market in the rain. And so, while we were hanging out and Mr. Possum was looking for something and he couldn't find it, so I went down to the basement with him. Well, that turned into a major project. Moving things around and opening up the tubs and sorting through things. And this is donation, this is garbage, this is recycle. And yeah, that went on for quite a while. And we found what he was looking for. But yeah, so that was most of the time spent today. So then I decided I would come in here, and I had 3 projects on the table going. You know, I had my Tea Tuesday Sisters journal and my beach journal about my junk journal meetup with Jilly Bean, and my laptop Sweet Slice of Life trashy journal. So I said, well, I'll come in and get these 3 done and I'll share it with you. Well, I got the beach journal done. I'll show you in a second. I'm working on the Tea Tuesday journal and nowhere near ready to do the laptop journal. Matter of fact, I need to go back downstairs and get some more papers for that. Well, let me share this with you. Come on along. First up is the Mermaid's Tale Beach Journal, which I have been journaling in for a couple of years. Yes, there's some 2022 journaling and some 2023 journaling, and now 2024 journaling. So if you watched the last episode about the beach journaling, I was ripping up magazine pages and I made this gorgeous Under the Sea page for the seahorse that Jilly Bean painted. I'll link that video below. And we exchanged seahorses. I gave her the one I painted and I have the one she painted. Well, on this side, I believe I showed you how I had already ripped up strips of magazine pictures and colors to put on this side. I was going to do beach and water and sky. I said I wasn't going to use pictures of clouds for clouds, but you know, I did. But I love the way it came out because I mixed them up. And I did put a little bit of water in the water, but then I have some other colors in there too. And then I have some rocks down here for the beach, but I have other colors. And then I want to tell you about this one when we get to the bottom. So I added the picture of me and Jilly Bean and Mr. Billy Bean. This is Mr. Billy Bean. Yes, he's the beach gnome who is visiting Soggy Bottom from the Jilly Bean studio. Yes, he's on vacay right now. So I wrote all that on here about our meetup and that we painted the seahorses. And 2 of these seahorses we dipped into glue and then into the garnet studded sand. And I had found this strip of color from the magazine that had all these little tiny red dots on it. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because we went over to the part of the beach where the sand had the little tiny bits of garnet in it. It also has a little black. I think the black is magnetite. So here's the seahorse we dipped into the sand. Lots of texture on that. I have an idea what page I'm going to use this one on. So I have that right here on the side. So overall, I mean, this spread, I love it. I love how this idea came out using these strips to, you know, not in an abstract way, but actually a representative way with sky and water and the beach. And under the sea, making the seaweed and the waves of the ocean there. Oh, you might notice that I've added some bubbles here. Also added blobs of glue. That's okay. I was reminded that the little bubbles that I was gifted would be perfect for this page. So I did add some on. I got some little ones down here too. And then there's another one here somewhere. Oh, so yeah, so got 1, 2, 3 of them down here and 3 by the seahorse. Then I added in my journaling, and I also made a couple of notes about the day. So I have lots of red seaweed floating in the warm ocean water, and I had a little picture up there, which is actually like red tapestry, but I'm calling that my red seaweed. And you know that I brought some of that home. Yes, I did. I'm smelling it. It's losing a little bit of its smell. When I first got it, wow, it was really strong, and I had to put it outside to dry. And this is on a piece of photo paper. But I might decoupage this down onto something and put that in the journal too. Yeah, so that's my red seaweed. I'm going to put that over there for right now. But yes, I couldn't be happier with how this came out. And I am really looking forward to doing this technique again. Yes, I'm thinking now fall colors, because I don't do any 2 pages really exactly the same. But if I take this technique and bring it into a fall journal with lots of fall colors, oh, I don't know, I could do the hills where I live with the strips of the oranges and reds and yellows, and maybe the ferns at the bottom, or I could do a farm with pumpkins. There's lots of things I can do, but I'm definitely going to do this again. And with these thin strips, I love the way the writing looks on there. This was just a super fun page to also write on. And I wrote down here, this is also a little note, not many waves that day. It was kind of calm, but I did a little boogie board. So yes, love it, love it. Now I was going to put this back on the shelf. I had a blue band that went around this journal, which mysteriously has disappeared. I know it was right over there. And the fairies did tell me that little Miss TT was in here walking around on the table, because I noticed over in their little studio there that some things were kind of thrown around too. So yeah, I have to find my band to put on here. So that is one project done. I'm going to go back and look at it one more time because I love how it came out. Okay, enough of that. So the Tea Tuesday. This seems to be like so many people's favorite journal. And it is ring bound with lots of rags, and the pages have awesome colors and touches of black and white. So that was my theme. Splashes of color and black and white patterns. And the pages are funky shapes. Well, a lot of them are, not all of them. Some are just square, but different sizes. And my fave pages are the teacup and the birthday cake and the teapot. And a lot of sister adventures in here. And we went to the lavender farm, and I got this off the sticker from Lavender Pond Farm, the bee and the little pond there with the cattails. And then on this side, I put material, and I did the faux handmade paper with the bits of lavender. Now, somebody asked me if it still smelled like lavender after I sealed it with the matte medium. And I can still smell it a little bit, yes. I can still smell that lavender a little bit. So, while you weren't looking, I took a piece of that paper and just glued it on like a pocket. I punched a thumb hole there so I could see the bee going into the skep. So this is hand painted with gouache. This side is material, and the pocket is faux handmade lavender paper. So right now, and this is the part I want to finish up tonight, and I feel very accomplished if I get this done, is to make the journal card again with the lavender paper, because that's what this is all about. I want to add a little bit of journaling with a picture of the sisters at the lavender farm. So I decided that I would back this with material. Now this is awesome 1930s reproductive fabric, and I got a whole pack of this gifted to me. And if you didn't see this haul, this was a Happy Mail haul. Oh my gosh, maybe I'll try and find that and link it below too. Yes, this was absolutely the bestest ever. Yes, if you love bits of fabric, especially unusual designs and colors. Oh, and there were lots of color registration marks on that too. Now, color registration marks, I had one right over here. What's on the side of the fabric like that? Yes, but you should see the ones that were in that haul, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the sewing machine. And I decided, because I didn't have much left over to make a pocket, that I would do a belly band on the back of the journaling card, right? Because I want to leave that the way it is with the little strip I have left over. And then I'm going to make a card with the sticker on one side and a picture and some journaling on the other side. And then this whole thing will go into this pocket over here. So I was just about to sew the belly band on here to the fabric. And I decided old-fashioned rickrack would look really nice on this reproductive fabric, right? So I found this gold strip. Well, I found a yellow one, but it just was too bright. I wanted this, and I thought this would really look nice. Although the yellow was about that color, but I'm going more with the gold on here, right? So I was just about to sew that on there. You know me, one more thing. And I'm like, this is about lavender. Let's get some purple in there. And I do have, where'd it go? I do have a piece of lavender that's as long as this here somewhere. Dinky, did you take that? Dinky's down on the floor right now. There it is. It fell off into my lap. So I might double rickrack it. Yep. This is a double rickrack it. All right, so I'm going to sew the rickrack to the belly band, and then I'm going to sew the whole thing to the back of this card. And it's already the morning dove o'clock, but I got a lot accomplished today, didn't I? Yes. And then I still have to make the card. So it's already getting late. So let me get over to the sewing machine and get this part done. All right, you're going to get a big chuckle out of this. If you're going to sew rickrack to a belly band, you need to do it before you put the belly band on the background, or else you don't have a belly band. No. All right, so what do you want to talk about while I rip this out? It came out so nice, too. Look at that. I'll never get it back. Awesome, perfect, again. Well, we are talking about lavender. Well, you know, my flower press, if you didn't see that, I'll look for that. I have a whole bunch of videos I need to look for. Maybe I should write it down. Okay. Fabric, Happy Mail. See if I can find these. And my flower press videos. What was the other one? Beach. Beach with Jelly Bean. Okay. Because you know I won't remember. So the flower press, yes. And right away, you know, I was talking about how I wanted Mr. Possum to put a couple little nuts on the bolts so they wouldn't keep falling through the bottom of the flower press. So right away I took it out and I gave it to him, and he did put the little nuts on there so now it doesn't fall apart. And I was thinking, you know, the next day it was a bit sunny outside, And I was thinking to myself, well, I better get outside before it starts raining again. You don't want to pick flowers to dry in the rain. No, you want to start with a nice dry flower. So I went right outside, and I have the tiniest patch of lavender, and they were all just made this year. And I just cut sprigs of lavender from an old lavender plant I have and just stuck them in the ground, and they grew. I didn't root them first. I didn't put any hormones on them. I just stuck them in the ground and they grew. Well, the best time to do that is early in the spring, because there's a lot of growth hormone in the plants in the spring. Anyway, so they're all blooming. I couldn't believe it. The first year, and they're all blooming. They're not real big, but they're blooming. So I cut some sprigs from them because the flowers were looking really good, just right for drying. And I put them in the flower press. And then I went around the yard and I was like, well, what else can I put in the flower press? And I was thinking, oh, those big, gorgeous marigolds I have. I wanted to dry some of those, but it's a great big giant flower head, and I just wanted those petals. So I took one of the flower heads and I broke it up into the petals. This would be awesome, to make some of that faux handmade paper with some marigold petals in it. Marigold petals are special for the Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, the end of October. And I'm looking, well, I have that gorgeous red salvia, and I've never dried salvia before. But again, I took it and I pulled out the little blossoms from the stem, and I put those in there. And then I have another purplish flower. I believe it's meadow sage. Yeah, it's something the deer don't eat and the rabbit doesn't eat because it's very stinky. And I usually don't like them because they're stinky, but I figured, well, if the wildlife aren't going to eat it, that's what I want. There's plenty for them to eat that I grow, but I wanted a few things that would flower that they're not going to eat. So the lavender seems to be like a pretty safe idea, and the meadow sage, and maybe some of the marigolds, although the slugs did eat a lot of my marigolds. But, with slugs, there's no accounting for taste. Garden scene investigation. I thought the bunnies were eating the marigolds, but can you see the slime on there? Sort of sparkling like that. I bet you the slugs are eating them. Oh, guess what? I found the culprit. There he is. That must be one hungry slug to eat all these marigolds. So I got some of the meadow sage. They look a little bit like the lavender, but I put those in there. Oh, you know what? I think I put some ferns in there too. Yeah, I think I put a couple little ferns in there just to fill it up. It's quite full. And I still have those Johnny Jump Ups sitting on the table here that I want to put in a journal. All right, I'm almost there. Oh, and when I was looking for this fabric, I found this fabric. Look at this. Beautiful tiger lilies. Aren't they gorgeous? So this has to go on the page that I'm going to journal about my tiger lily plant. And then when I walked in here, Mr. Possum had put this empty tissue box on the table. I was like, well, that kind of goes with this fabric, doesn't it? That might wind up on a journal page too. We'll see. So this is sitting over here. So while I'm finishing up these 2 pages, I'm already thinking about what's going to happen next. Oh, and I got a lot of ideas for my tree. And somebody, I think a couple did, suggested that I paint one side black, and the other side, browns and grays. I can't hot glue gun things on, but I can decorate it. I do have a couple of eyes on here I can hang things from, and I've got lights, and somehow I can attach little leaves and things, and then I can flip it and do a Halloween version on the black side. So I could be both team Halloween. I love fun Halloween. Yes, I love fun Halloween, and I love fall harvest. So I just might do that. Okay, I'm almost done here, so I'm going to take this back to the machine and see if I can get this right. That's too bad. It came out so nice. Ta-da! A functioning belly band. Yay! Isn't that sweet? I might trim this a little bit. Should we leave the dangly threads? Oh, that one got sewn underneath. Trim this off a little bit. Just a little bit of a haircut. Oh, look and see, I got that yellow thread on the paper too. Now I got yellow threads everywhere. Look how fun this is. I think this side's too long. I'm going to trim that just a little closer. Oh, you know what? I should use the fabric scissors, right? Coming in a little closer. I want just a little bit of that material to poke out. Oh, this side's really long. What should I do? What should I do? There we go. Oh, made a mess. Oh yeah, that's better. That is better. Love how this came out. Yes. All I need now is to make a little journaling card with the sticker and a photo and a little bit of journaling. And this page will be done. I've already put the beach journal back on the shelf because that is complete except for the band that I had around it, which may or may not show up. I might have to find something different. Oh, you know what? I've got some beautiful beach ribbons I can put on there. See, I always just keep coming up with these ideas. Yeah, so I'm going to come back tomorrow, make a journaling card. This is waiting for me. And my sandy seahorse. Oh, I just love journaling. There's always so much to do. You could just be so creative in so many different ways. And don't forget, if you mess up, if you make a mistake, no pressure. Just go with it. Just relax and laugh at yourself and keep going. Happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. Plant seeds and pick the blooms. Affirmations for a life of balance, creativity, and fulfillment. Light candles every day and surround myself with fresh flowers. Lighting a candle can be like a prayer. It brings ritual to all aspects of life. Business meetings, meal times, and quiet times. Surround yourself with fresh flowers because they are beautiful, because their scent is heavenly, and like candles, flowers will fill your soul with joy. Action. Light a candle today and let this ritual be an affirmation of life. Let the warmth and glow of the fire fill your spirit. Pick some wildflowers or some blooms from your garden. If you're a city dweller, purchase some and place the bouquet at the center of your living space.